Good morning here from Coronavirus Central, and today's going to be kind of a shorter one because I don't have quite as much additional information to report, but I do have some less pleasant information, as we can see from a change that I'm calculating in cases per 100,000 in countries. I think we got a good amount of new data yesterday, so we'll see that the numbers have changed. For instance, in Italy, we went up to 17,660 cases, which gives us an increase of 7.22 individuals per 100,000 between yesterday and today. So whereas yesterday we had a flat zero, either there's been an increase in cases or there's been an increase in reporting of cases. South Korea seems to be doing the best with a very small increase. Norway is still pretty high. Spain, an increase of about 6 individuals per 100,000. In the US, we're about a tenth of a person per 100,000 increase. I'm looking also at, as you know, changes in states. The biggest change and consistently increasing about a person per 100,000 is Washington State, and we also have the most deaths there at 37 deaths. So again, that's the place that you'd want to avoid for sure. And so, but everything else seems to be remaining pretty steady. For instance, in New York, you got a half person per 100,000. You need like one person per 200,000, right? So to find one person, you'd have to go through 200,000 people. Again, these are all just random. This just would be if we were to pick people at random, although you can imagine there's clustering. So New York City would be someplace, and its suburbs would be a place that you think would have a greater prevalence. And I don't have those data, so I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at these more general data. So I did a comparison between France and Italy because those are comparable in terms of population size. With that's my bird in the background. He's trying to say ready. He can pronounce a lot, but he just can't say ready for some reason. So we're looking at France, that has about 65 million individuals, and Italy about 60 million individuals. And you can see, so you're thinking, okay, Italy and France, so they're comparable size, a lot of tourism. So I would think that they should be about following the same course. One would, again, the yeah, but people would say, but a person might have gone to Italy before who was infected. See, it's so hard to tell because travel is so random. And if the epicenter was in China and people came from China, Chinese people travel everywhere. There's almost 1.5 billion Chinese people. So they would have been traveling equally likely to China, to France, Italy, United States, anywhere. So why it spread so much in Italy, it is still a little bit of a confusing trend for me. Although I'm sure somebody in Italy could tell you why. You should look into that. But if I compare the two, you have 7 per 100,000 in Italy and 2 per 100,000 in France. And if we make a comparison, that difference is, do I have the difference? Let's see, per 100,000, the difference, okay, there, I got it, 19 people per 100,000. You can see this is the 95% confidence interval. So this tells us how confident we are that this is a true population value. Yeah, it's a magnificently high difference between the two groups. And so that's actually a z-value there. Z-value. And again, I won't explain that either. If you're interested, look at your own statistics textbook, and I could do it in some other video if you're interested. But if you can look at what the prevalence is, you're talking about 25 people per 100,000 in Italy to about 5.5 per 100,000 in France. So that's a major amount, but again, you got to keep everything in perspective. And this is a serious condition that we have to worry about. I'm still equally scared of the flu, and I hope this is going to activate people to start getting vaccinated. Because if you're going out and buying toilet paper and running away from, in fear from this condition, but are not getting vaccinated, then there's something wrong with you. You got to get vaccinated, whether it's for the flu shot, measles, mumps, rubella for your children. These are what we call primary prevention measures, so that we don't get sick, so we don't cause problems. We don't have a vaccine here yet, but we will. And you know what? I'll bet you the same people who are hiding from the flu shot are going to hide from that vaccine too. So don't go running to anybody complaining if you're not getting your vaccinations. But anyway, that's the report for today on March 14, 2020. Goodbye.